How's it going out there today, guys? Thank you very much for dropping by the channel. I really, truly appreciate it. First-time viewers, love it. If you're back watching as a repeat viewer, love that too. So I love it when anybody watches the content. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And it's always about sneakers and upcoming sneaker releases. Now, to be honest, let's be honest, most of it's about Nike, because that's the biggest sneaker brand, really. And then under that, you'd have Adidas. And then under that, you'd have a couple of things, you know, Reebok maybe in there, Asics thrown in there as well, a couple of the brands. When it comes to Converse, I can't honestly say I've looked at more than maybe 5 Converse in 580 videos. That's not a great ratio, you know what I'm saying? So when it does come around, when something does pop up on the radar, it's like, oh, you know, it's a great opportunity to do it. I think the Carhartts, let's pop up the Carhartts, was probably the most recent one that I did from the Converse line. It's a great looking shoe, and I really enjoyed doing that video, to be honest. And it does give me that opportunity to look at shoes I wouldn't normally look at, so it's great for that sort of thing. But then today, bang, we're back with these guys here, and the reason why these guys really caught my eye is, yes, of course, it's a great looking shoe, actually a great looking pair of shoes, but really it's all about that whole Japan exclusivity. Here I am in Tokyo, Japan, where I have been for 21 years. When a Japan exclusive shoe comes along, I always take a close look at it. Sometimes I do it, and sometimes I don't. It's not a guarantee. I mean, right here, Air Jordan 1s, I can't even remember what they're called, but something like Lightning Grey or something like that. I know that's not what they're called. But they're coming down the line in a couple of days' time. I definitely had a close look at that. It's a Japan exclusive, very big sort of history with Japan and sneakers. So then when these guys came around, these Converses came around, tying it up with the Japanese brand Mastermind, I thought, you know, absolutely, I'm going to have a look at those guys. And then tell you guys what I found out about it. And it turns out there's quite a lot of details on this shoe, and there's some things we just don't know yet. You know, the promotional materials aren't out there yet. We're going on sort of rumor and some pictures I've managed to pick up around the place. So I thought I'd split this video into the things that we don't know and the things we do know. And I think I'll do the don't knows first, and then after that we'll get into the things that we do know, because I think people will be more interested in the don't knows. But anyway, with all that being said, let's get into this and take a close-up look at the Converse Chuck Taylor Mastermind. This is the Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel des.毎日アップするので、毎日見てください. Every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today we're looking at that shoe, like I said, the Chuck Taylor Mastermind. I think it's a Converse Addict or something along those lines is the name of this shoe. Like I said, I don't look at many Converse, haven't looked at that many. There was a Black History Month one that I looked at, I think it was earlier this year, after, you know, almost 600 days of consecutive content, not missed a day. The shoes sort of get mixed up in my mind a little bit, and I forget which ones I have looked at and which ones I haven't. Nothing to do with age. It's just because there's so many videos. That's it. It's not because I'm forgetful or anything. You know, it's not because I'm old. Anyway, but these guys here, there's a lot to look at. Kind of interesting. It's great to look at a pair of shoes I've not looked at before. So let's get into it, look at those details. So we'll go wide and we'll gradually work our way to sort of narrower things. Wide, looking at it, the thing to look at is the fact that there's 2 colorways there. And what's kind of interesting to me is that the upper is actually very similar. Usually when you twist out and you have a collection, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 shoes, and you're twisting something on it. Let's bring up a thumbnail of one of the Adidas shoes we've looked at lately, and you'll see 3 different shoes in that one thumbnail, because usually it's the upper that gets played around with. But in the case of these guys, actually the upper is very stable, very similar between the 2 shoes, and you can see that it's a black upper with white stitching on both. And somehow behind me here, hopefully I'm able to sort of give you that kind of perspective so you can see that the upper itself isn't where the change is. But if we pan it back out and go big again, you can see that the big changes are on the midsole, where one's white and one's black, and then on the laces, where the white midsole, it has white laces, and the black midsole has black laces, which gives the black ones a very triple black kind of effect. But that really is the only difference that I've been able to find between the 2 shoes. And it's kind of interesting. Like I said, it's interesting that the upper itself isn't the change. It's actually more the stuff around the upper that's a change, which I think is kind of unusual and kind of cool. But like I said we'd get into the first things first, which was the don't know parts, and then we'll move on to the do know parts. And the do know parts is actually 4 or 5 really cool things in there. Stuff that I hadn't actually read about, and was only when I looked at the pictures in detail that I kind of found out about. So don't nose first. Let's bring up an old pair of Mastermind Converse. And what you're looking at here is an older pair. And the reason I brought this up was for two particular things. One was that right down the heel, you've got that skull motif repeated 4 or 5 times down the ankle and the heel section of the shoe. I don't know, and I haven't been able to find out what today's shoe's ankle heel looks like and whether they're going to have those skulls or skull and crossbones, which is the Mastermind motif, down the back of the shoe. Don't know. I'm going to guess yes. That's my personal opinion on this, having looked at a lot of shoes over time and seen that kind of pattern that kind of evolves and grows over time for particular shoes. And in the case of these guys, I think you are going to see that skull and crossbones down the heel and the ankle there. And then at the bottom, you've got that nameplate, that sort of a number plate kind of branding plate effect that you often / always get on Converse. And I'm going to go ahead and put my money on saying that this will not be designed. Now, there was a shoe I looked at recently. Maybe it was the Carhartt, but I don't think it was. I'll find the picture, because what they've done is they'd actually taken that branding plate right off of the shoe, and I don't think it was the Carhartt, which is interesting. So I'll have to find out which one it was and show you. And what they've done is removed the branding plate, like I said, on the midsole on the heel of the shoe, but they'd left the company's brand behind. It's really, really cool, and hopefully it looks good on the green screen here, and you can see what I'm talking about. But I think in the case of these guys, here's the older pair with that skull coming down, and repeated down the ankle and the heel, and then right there on the heel there, you can see that they didn't play around with the nameplate or the branding plate on these guys. Therefore, on today's shoe, I don't think they're going to do anything with that branding plate on the back as well. But I don't know. That's the two don't knows as far as I'm concerned. The rest that I do know, I'm going to tell you right about exactly now. And the first place I want to go and have a look at that is on the tongue, because the tongue has the Mastermind branding up there, which is usually a skull and crossbones, and it is the same today. It's the skull and crossbones. But what's unique about it is it's got a much better quality effect to it, and they've taken a bit more time. Instead of going with a very standard and very simple skull crossbones, there's a bit more sort of detail to it, almost a 3D effect, and hopefully I've been able to show you that on the green screen here, and you can see that it's almost like they've gone with an upgrade for that branding up there on the tongue. And yes, does look good, but that repeats in several places throughout the shoe, and it's important that you can see it big on the tongue, because it's harder to see in other places. Now, I think I'll go down to the midsole, midfoot branding plate, because there's something near the tongue that I want to talk about, but I'll come back to that later. We'll come down to that midsole, midfoot sort of area branding plate, which is very unique. I haven't seen this before in shoes. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, I might be. But what they've gone is they've got that Mastermind branding down there, which is an extra place to have it. I kind of like it. I think it's nice. I don't know, Converse can often be very sort of sequential, very similar. They don't play around too much with the structure of the shoe. So seeing that branding plate there in the midfoot area, I think is pretty cool. And then another place where they brought the branding in, which is also very cool, is on the toe box, and you can see that it says Mastermind stripped across, right up tight to the bottom of the laces. So it's not towards the front where the toes are. It's more back a bit on that sort of rubberized toe box area on there, and you can see Mastermind printed right across there on both of these shoes. And again, it's a nice detail. And again, this is one of those places where you've got the white versus black in the upper elements. So the upper fabrics are the same, but here we've got that black toe box area on one, and you've got the white toe box area on the other. And then the last thing that we do know about that I hadn't really read about, and I thought it was pretty cool because I found it from looking at the pictures, is if we go all the way up the laces back towards the tongue area there, but before we get to the tongue, we get to the top eyelet, and you can see the top eyelet's been replaced with a stud. Very cool. Adds a very sort of nice finish to the shoe, complements the skull and crossbones sort of motif and story to the shoe. Fits in really well with the colorways, the triple black or the white and black variant. I think in all aspects, having that stud up there is a big win, a big plus for this shoe. So then if we come back out and have a look at the two shoes together, you can kind of get a look at all of that together. The tongue branding, the midsole, midfoot branding, the branding across the toe box, and then of course that stud up there. So all in all, to me, it's pluses all around on this shoe. It's a really good looking shoe. Personally though, like I said, it's the first time I've had a look at this particular Converse. I'd love to know from you guys in the comments down below if there's stuff that I've missed out on, if there's stuff I didn't know, or if you found out more about these shoes, or if the more detailed pictures are coming out. Now I'm pretty sure, I wrote it down, I'm pretty sure it's July 23rd these guys are dropping. This video I think will go up on July 19th, so 4 days before the drop. So between the 19th, so I'm making it on the 18th, so between today the 18th and the 23rd when it drops, there might be more stuff that comes out and more information. Hopefully, will add to what I've told you today, and you'll be able to get a good sort of view and a good perspective on this particular pair of shoes. Okay, it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out the content. Like I said, it's Sunday afternoon on the 19th, did I say 18th? Today's Sunday, so it's the 19th, and this video will drop on the 20th, so it's actually 3 days before the actual drop date, but you know, the point still stands. So anyway, I've got to go off and get this video ready for tomorrow, and just enjoy the rest of my Sunday. So thank you guys for checking out the content. But as I do this every single day, that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.